Now that we have the clawshots from the Lanayru Silent Realm, there's so much that we can do both here in the Lanayru Desert as well as in the sky, in the overworld. This video is going to have a lot of side quests. Actually, the next two videos are going to be full with side quests. If you want to progress in the main quest, so to speak, just run on to the southwest corner of the Lanayru Desert, or just skip ahead to the fourth video in this chapter. Otherwise, the next two videos are purely side quest optional items. First and foremost, wherever you see these targets, this is a sign that you can use the claw shot, or the claw shots, I should say. And you can just aim onto the target, grapple on over, and it'll bring Link on over. In general, the claw shot, I mentioned it's sort of a throwback to like the hook shot from A Link to the Past, and it sort of has had several different incarnations throughout the Zelda series. We got the hook shot back for A Link to the Past. Similarly, we had the hook shot with Link's Awakening, but then we had the hook shot and long shot in Ocarina of Time. Then it sort of like drifted away and had several different uses. For example, the Wind Waker, we had the grappling hook. It was almost like a mixture of both the whip and the hook shot in a way. In the Oracle of I think it was Oracle of Ages, actually, we had the switch hook, which instead of allowing you to sort of propel yourself over to a target, it actually switches you with the specific target. And then in more recent games, I should say, we had a variation of the grappling hook in Phantom Hourglass, although that was not really very hookshotty-ish. Yeah, and then Twilight Princess, we finally got the double claw shot, and basically what I'm doing right now in this video is a good idea of what the double claw shots were all about in Twilight Princess. You were able to hook onto one and then grapple onto the other. It was kind of sweet. I know it took a lot of criticism in Twilight Princess, the fact that you got one hook shot and then you later got an upgrade to the second one. It seemed that Nintendo took the hint really that people didn't really like this idea, and in Skyward Sword they gave you both the claw shots at the same time. Anyway, make your way on over to the Goddess Cube here. We previously had gotten a piece of heart back in that narrow corridor where I just passed. There's a treasure chest that contained a piece of heart, but now that we have the claw shots, we can actually get to the Goddess Cube as well. At this point, you could actually run around the Lanayru Desert region, and there's so many of those little targets that you can grapple on over to, and you can find some new goodies. In particular, to the area just southwest of the Lanayru mining facility, of the center structure, you probably noticed that there was that single goddess cube just sitting up there on that higher ledge that we couldn't get, and it was kind of annoying earlier on in the quest. But luckily, now that we have the claw shots, we are able to reach it. You might have also noticed that this area has sort of filled with some new enemies. In a sense, you'll find some spear moblins, and you'll also find some blue bokoblin. But as I sort of mentioned in previous videos, the progression is not the greatest. I mean, sure, the blue bokoblins are tougher than the red bokoblins we fought early on in the quest, but it's not that significant difference where, suddenly, fighting enemies becomes extremely difficult. Anywho, now that we've unlocked that second goddess cube, you can run around this higher ledge area as well, and you'll find there's a treasure chest over here that contains some extra rubies, so be sure to pick that up as well. At this point, you can just run along to the southwest portion of the Lanayru Desert, as that's going to be the next destination in the main quest. There is a little minecart type thing you can drop down to the ground, and it creates a shortcut, but really there's no reason you're ever going to need to climb up here pretty much ever again, so it's just one of those added things. Anyway, this is the area straight ahead, what's in your view right now. That's the area we need to go to progress in the main quest. However, I'm going to use the nearby bird statue to travel to the sky, as there really is a lot of things we could do in the overworld. For one, we just unlocked 2 goddess cubes, and we can collect their treasures right away. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do next. Afterwards, there's a couple of gratitude crystal quests that we can do at this point. I'm going to fast forward through this since it's a little tedious. I mean, just the flying. But make your way over to this island that's at the far west portion of the sky, which we were at actually before. You'll notice in that like caged region, there's actually a goddess treasure chest, but we haven't actually activated that one just yet. Instead, the goddess chest that we are looking for is actually below the smaller island, and you'll have to climb down the vines. It contains the very valuable life metal. This is the 2nd life metal that we've now gotten, and just like the first one, this will give Link 1 full heart container whenever he has it in his adventure pouch. So we have 14 full heart containers now. Using this life metal, that's actually going to give you 15 full heart containers. So that's very valuable. It's you definitely want to equip it. You definitely want to have both of the life metals equipped at all times. At this point, my adventure pouch was full, so it's over at Skyloft, and I'll have to go to the item check, which I will be doing shortly in my next visit to Skyloft. The other goddess cube here is in this area here. This is actually one you will need the water dragon skeleton, but since we got that in the Farron region, we can now dive under the water, and you can find there's some fairies lying around, but there's also a goddess treasure chest on the higher ledge. So jump up, grab it, and here we will find the heart medal. And if you didn't get one earlier, the heart medal basically allows you to gain recovery hearts more frequently, I should say. If you're playing the 2nd quest or the hero's quest, there are no recovery hearts at all, ever. So this is actually very valuable if you're playing the 2nd quest or the hero's quest, because it'll allow you to get recovery hearts previously where they were not to be found at all. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it in terms of goddess treasure chests that are out in the overworld portions, basically outside of Skyloft. However, there are a couple right here in Skyloft. Number 1, there's that massive island sort of floating right above the waterfall, and you were probably investigating it earlier, like where the heck did this come from, or why can't I land on it? I know when I was playing, I was trying to fly in my Loftwing and land on the island. But even though it looked like I land on the island, there's sort of set locations where you are sort of allowed to land. And, well, this is not one of them. You'll need to use your clawshots to get on up here. And from here, you can sort of just leap off to another one of the smaller islands out in the distance. And this one contains a goddess treasure chest. So go ahead and open it up to find yourself a gold rupee. Yay! Afterwards, you can just use your clawshots just to get back over to the vines that connect you to the island, sort of near the waterfall cave. A few things that we can do now. There's a few gratitude crystal quests that we can complete, one of which we can do another part of it, a second one which we could have actually done earlier, but I saved it, and then another one that's sort of brand new that is now that we can now do it now that we have the clawshots. So the one I'm gonna continue on is one that I started earlier, and that's Fledge's side quest. If you haven't already, you can speak with Fledge at nighttime within his room at the Night Academy, and Fledge is trying to get stronger. He's been doing push-ups, and last we checked, he was sort of low on stamina. He was running out of energy, really. He couldn't do those extensive push-ups. So in a previous video, You could do the first part right after completing the Lanayru mining facility. We actually went and bought him some stamina potion, and we gave him some potion. Nothing has changed until the next trigger point is completing the Ancient Cistern. This is where the next stage in Fledge's side quest sort of kicks in. At this point, we want to take over a second stamina potion. You could go to his room now and find that instead of just doing 5, 6, and 7 push-ups, he's now doing 55 of them, or 56 of them, 57 of them. So he has made some progress. So that's where we're going to head to now. Before I do that, I went and spoke with Patrice, the girl at the item check teller, and the fact that I've been talking to her constantly, and every time you go to bed and then wake up and go and talk to her again, it sort of progresses the relationship and the storyline with her. And at a certain point, she starts sort of gaining a romantic attraction to you, and this triggers really when you can start doing her quest. Theoretically, you could have done her quest almost first, right after finding Kokil. All it really entails is that you go to sleep, go talk to her, go to sleep, go talk to her, and rinse, wash, and repeat. But we're going to be completing her side quest a little bit later. If you go on over to the potion shop owner's husband, he mentions that he's having some trouble at night, in particular with his baby, who, strangely enough, he carries on his back. And his side quest is also one of the ones we are going to be doing in this chapter as well. But first and foremost, we are going to be taking care of Fledge's side quest. So I'm sort of just going to flash forward, really, to get to Fledge's house at the Night Academy, and I've sort of already gone ahead and fallen asleep to make it nighttime. So you can talk to Fledge, and he's up to 57 push-ups, but he's suffering from stamina fatigue once again. And what you need to do is you can give him a second stamina potion. So go ahead and give him some, and he performs that same animation of like showing his muscles. It's like, "Urgh." I like it. But this is pretty much as far as we can get with Fledge's side quest for now. We'll be able to make some more progress with this after completing the 5th dungeon. So basically 2 chapters from now we'll be able to complete Fledge's side quest. So after talking to him, you can just go ahead and go back to sleep. And I'm sort of going to once again flash forward, just because I don't want to waste time just running around Skyloft. But my next appearance is going to be all the way back at the bazaar once again. At this point, you can go ahead and speak with the item check teller again. You can trade in that bottle if you like. As you can see, Patrice is like, "You came to see me, I'm so happy." So she's starting to garner that relationship with you. And then she, at this point, she's like getting all jolly about me. She came out of her seat, and she asks you some questions, and it doesn't really matter which way you answer them. It affects her reactions, but not the end game goal. It's not like there's different results, at least not yet. But anyway, she's eventually gonna call you darling. It might not be this particular time. It takes constant talking to her throughout the game, each day. But once she starts calling you darling, this triggers that you can do her side quest. And we're going to be doing that in just a little bit. I'm going to be doing one of the other Gratitude Crystal side quests just before that. In particular, I'm going to be doing the Potion Shop Owner's side quest, or Birdie and Love. So our next stop is to head on over to their house. Birdie and Love, their house is found at the east end of Skyloft, sort of in the residential area, and it's pretty much right in front. Right when you cross the bridge, just hang a little left, and it's the first house here. Once you're at the house, just go ahead and run on over to the bed here and go to sleep. Make it nighttime, and then once you awake, you'll find that Birdie, who is the wife of the family, the potion shop owner, she's asleep in the bed just adjacent to you. However, Love is having trouble falling asleep, and in particular, the baby is just making all this noise, and Love is sort of agitated about it because, he can't fall asleep once again. And it turns out that the problem is, somewhere along the lines, that the baby lost its baby rattle. So, of course, Love is asking Link, or Link volunteers to say, yeah, we'll find the baby rattle for you. Because, we always help people for random things such as losing baby rattles. Anyway, he gives you the clue that a bird picked it up. So this sort of signifies that it's sort of tricky though, because it sort of signifies that it's in the air, it's not on the ground level, at least that's what it makes you think where it is. But it's actually right here in Skyloft. My first reaction was that it would have gotten picked up and, sent away to one of the various random islands that we were going to get another clue for. But it's actually right here in Skyloft, right in the center part of Skyloft. Right at the central part of Skyloft, there's sort of like a mini, almost like a tower type thing, type location. And I actually haven't been there yet throughout this entire playthrough, but it's right there. It's a little, it's got like a little windmill of sorts, and actually just to the side of the windmill here, there's some bugs that you can get to by using, first by just knocking them down to the ground and picking up the sky stag beetles. So be sure to do that if you want to collect some extra bugs. In general, these stag beetles are found in various areas of Skyloft, and if you use your bug metal, you'll be able to find a number of them quite easily. Anyway, what we're going to need to do is once again use our clawshots to get on top of the waterfall, and then from there we'll be able to jump on top of that windmill. And it's quite a long jump, but Link is able to sort of glide on over. This actually took me a few tries. I was jumping from the wrong location, so I'm sort of going to skip ahead to my successful try. And I jumped from right here, and you just hold, you gotta tilt the Wiimote. It's kind of confusing how to explain it, but you want to tilt it forward a little bit so that you glide in that direction, and then you'll land on top of what is presumably a bird's nest. So that hint that Love gave you ended up working out, and right in the middle of it is the rattle. Yay! So that's pretty much all there is to this particular Gratitude Crystal quest. It's a fairly short one in a sense. Then again, not many of them. A couple of them are pretty elaborate, but some of them are kind of short. So after we get the rattle, we want to head back over to Birdie and Love's house, and then once you arrive at the house, just go ahead and take a nap once again to make it nighttime. By the way, I kind of like that they got the little portrait above their bed. I know a lot of families do that, like the husband and wife, they'll have like a family portrait, maybe from their wedding or something, right above their bed. So it's kind of cool to see that in Skyward Sword. Anyway, go ahead and wake up at nighttime and speak to Love, and you'll give him the rattle. And this will immediately calm the baby down, and she starts shaking in happiness, and yay! And then Love seems to be happy as well. He's finally going to be able to go to sleep. Yay! For completing this side quest, you will be rewarded with 5 gratitude crystals. And, well, that's pretty much going to do it for this particular video. We have another gratitude crystal quest that we can do. This is Patrice's gratitude crystal quest. So, I will see you guys in the next video where we will cover that, as well as some individual gratitude crystals. So see you guys then.